I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes no score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stock, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Welcome to the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Every game matters in playoff basketball, and what a cracker we have for you this evening. Bristol welcome the second seed Cheshire Phoenix, having just failed to cause a huge upset in the Northwest in Game 1.
Here's Skylar White, who loves the three-point line. Rideau staring down the three. Here it goes.
Skylar White is dangerous.
Oh, nice move, and jammed in. Driving hard to the hole, he finishes. Back to White. White can't create some room, gets the shot off anyway. Oh, my goodness, are you kidding me, Skylar White?
That one-point win last week puts the trophy-winning Phoenix in pole position, a road win tonight, and they ground the Flyers and head to the semi-finals. Let's join your commentary team of Josh Bett and Kyler Nelson.
Thank you, Tahir, and welcome basketball fans to the beautiful city of Bristol for tonight's playoff game in the British Basketball League between our hosts, the Bristol Flyers, and the visitors, the Cheshire Phoenix. Well, hello, basketball fans. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside Kyler Nelson. Kyler, it's playoff basketball. Anything can go. For Bristol, it's a must-win tonight.
Yeah, win or stay home tonight for Bristol. Will want to take this to a Game 3 in this series. Both teams made it to the semi-finals last season and will want to get back there tonight.
Well, two words every fan loves to hear, Game 3, but let's take a look at Keedy Johnson. He's been phenomenal this season, but he needs a big game tonight if they're going to take this to a Game 3.
Yeah, he was great for Bristol in Game 1. What a stat line, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 7 steals. And he did it in so many ways. His ability to get inside the paint, draw fouls, got to the free throw line 16 times, and then when you step off him, he knocks down that 3.
Well, the Quincy Rideau, another player. What can we say about this superstar for the Cheshire Phoenix?
He has implemented himself as one of the best in the league in what he does, and he does it all. Double-double last game with 22 points, 11 assists, and when he hits 3 pull-up threes in the first half, it's going to be a long game for whoever he's playing.
Well, every fan loves to hear Game 3, but could Cheshire go through? We'll find out momentarily. welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in the beautiful city of Bristol, and again, this is playoff basketball in the British Basketball League. Well, our three referees tonight, our crew chief, Mr. Ed Udansky, EuroLeague caliber referee, Rob Hickman, and David Griffin. Well, Kyler, of course, you go back to the first time these two teams met only a few days ago. You know, Bristol, they were all quite in it. And I think they surprised a lot of people by almost winning the game, but Cheshire, they found a way.
Yeah, huge comeback by Bristol, who were down as much as 20 in the third quarter, and they did it on the defensive end. They got stopped. They held Cheshire to only 31 points in the second half, and that's what they'll need to do tonight to be successful.
Well, interesting. It looks like Cheshire going out with a small ball lineup here. Most likely because they like to spread the floor. I mean, they are a very heavy volume perimeter shooting team, but, you know, they're very efficient as well.
Yeah, and I like the mismatch with Skylar White and Brad Green. The quicker White, he shoots the three, it's hard for Brad Green to get out and close out on them.
Green trying to go to work. Post move, can't get it. Gets zone rebound. The putback is good. Could that be a price to pay when you go small and you have to defend a center like Brad Green?
Yes, there could be, and he wasn't able to play that many minutes last game, but if they can find him the ball early tonight, it'll be a great thing for Bristol throughout the game.
Of course, many teams, or many fans, I should say, very impressed with how Cheshire have been this year. I mean, you know, historically, they've always been a good team, but you can see Skylar White hitting from 17, but there's a little bit of swag to them this year, winning the trophy, a little bit of an attitude that everybody seems to like.
Oh, absolutely. You hear them talking most games, and they do it together.
Cheshire, of course, one of the most historical teams in British basketball. A great fan base, great foundations at the club, and already one accolade this season. Can they make it two? Well, Bradley going for a three-point, unable to connect, and good to see him back in the league, of course, joining late in the season. Cheshire trying to take the lead. Tip back is good, and you know, that's one thing. Small ball, but they go for second chances.
Yeah, they've played each other 5 times this season. Every time the winner of the game had won in the rebounding battle, so this is going to be huge tonight.
Well, left uncontested, can't get it. Rideau comes up with a loose ball, trying to push this one. Goes in with a kind of a Euro step. Cheshire hungry, they'll get this one back. Showing a little bit more hunger at the moment than Bristol.
They're known for fast offense, getting down the floor quickly, and Bristol need to find a way to keep them out of the paint going downhill.
Well, Skylar White should have the ability to try and bring Brad Green away from the bucket to try and spread the Bristol defense. 5 seconds here for Rideau. Trying to go for the pick and pop. They got to force something up now. Step back now. I think that's going to be a 24-second violation, so good defense coming from the Flyers.
And that's what they need. This Flyers team have the lowest field goal percentage and only average just over 80 points a game. They have to keep Cheshire's points low.
Well, Bristol now looking to either tie up the game, possibly take the lead with a three-pointer. Bradley thought about going for the three, can't get it. Too predictable, that one's intercepted. Now here come the Phoenix. Tempo's gonna be so crucial to this game. Skylar White from downtown, knocking down the three-pointer. Again, looking like themselves, like they usually do, Kyla.
Skylar White finding his rhythm again after struggling a little bit at the end of the season. When he plays well, this team wins. Coming off a 20-point game in game 1.
Well, Rideau's gonna get called for the foul. Well, here's the kick out. Pass obviously beautifully made by Cam Holden, finding Skylar White. You know, his range. It is frightening how limitless his range is.
There's not a shot that Skylar White doesn't like. He's confident from way beyond the arc, and you saw in game 1, he was able to hit some tough shots because he's just ready to shoot constantly.
Well, they've called this a shooting foul, I believe, so 2 free throws will be coming up for the Flyers. Currently at the free throw line, Tevin Ollison. Oh, it's interesting. You look at this Bristol team. They've had quite a challenging year going into the European North Basketball League. You know, having a relatively good run at that competition. It's quite hard when you have to play continental basketball and also fit it in with your domestic league.
Yeah, it helps on both ways. You're playing more games, you find a rhythm together, and you're playing high competition. So when you come back into the British Basketball League, you're at that level.
Trying to go for a post-up. Traveling violation. Well, Cheshire, again, can't come into this game being too settled and too comfortable. They've got to win this because, you know, every British Basketball League fan's favorite 2 words right now, game 3. You don't want to take it to that level where almost anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Flyers trailing by 3 points. Avoids the block, goes in, finishes under pressure. Well, Skylar White was getting ready for the help side, but there's nothing stopping Tevin Ollison.
Yeah, this Bristol offense is best when there's rhythm, there's motion. They play out of advantages, drive, kick, drive again. And that's when they're going to be successful. Whereas Cheshire, you'll see, play a lot of pick and roll action.
Well, speaking of the pick and roll action, doesn't get the and one, but Quincy Rideau will go the free throw. One thing I appreciate about his game, he just knows how to maneuver whenever he gets the ball in the paint. He bumps, he makes contact. I don't think there's many players, I mean, Evan Walsh is the exception as well. There's not many players in the league that are able to do what LaQuincy Rideau can do.
It comes a lot from core strength, being able to take bumps and still hang in the air and finish. He plays at his own pace, which is really fast. But if you see him as he gets in the lane, he slows down, he finds ways to score around bigger defenders, and he gets to the free throw line.
Well, Ben Thomas, head coach of this team, has led them to 2 trophy finals where they've won the championship. He's up to 3, actually, and also won the former British Basketball League Cup as well. So coach of accolades. One thing he hasn't won, though, is the playoff final. Flyers now looking to try to take the lead for the first time. Or for the second time, excuse me. Ollison goes for a step back. This one's up, and it's good. Well, that's the confidence, and right now he's feeling it very early on.
Yeah, Bristol have a chance to win games when Ollison plays this way. He had 25 in the last game, really efficient with 60% from the field.
All the kicks out to LaQuincy Rideau, wide open in the corner. Well, it is amazing when somebody who struggles with the free throw line, now let's say he does it on a consistent basis, is able to knock down a three-pointer so easily.
Yeah, the second half of the season, LaQuincy Rideau's really upped his percentages from the three-point line, and he's not afraid to shoot a high amount each game now.
Right now avoiding the out-of-bounds violation, trying to go for a post-up. Left it wide open, goes up, and again, well, the defense, miscommunication by the Flyers.
You cannot leave Aaron Rye open. They did a good job on him last game with only 8 points, and they'll need to keep him quiet in order to win at home and take it to that game 3.
4-point lead at the moment here for the Phoenix. Bradley trying to go for a post-up. Elevates in the air, excuse me, and again, a nice little hook inside the lane. Well, he's got the length.
Yeah, lovely little lefty hook there.
Just reaches in, and a foul's gonna be called mid-court against Levi Bradley. I think the home crowd, well, look at this. Here's a replay. I like this. That's the elevation. That's a little baby hook inside the key, but I think we may have just heard a ironic cheer from the Bristol crowd. I'm not quite sure who that was at, but interesting moment there from the fans. 5:30 just above to go here in the first quarter. Cheshire leading the series by 1. A win tonight will close this one out. Rye coming off one screen. Attacks aggressively, and again, we talk about another player just knows how to get to the free throw line.
Another player that plays at his own pace. He understands his body. He changes the length and the speed of those steps. And every time he's trying to find contact from the defender. You see he steps across right there in order to get that foul.
I was in Canada back in February on a visit to see my parents and had a few conversations with some coaches in the CBL. And first question they asked me is, what do you think of Aaron Wright? I mean, he is making so much noise this season, making the jump from the NBL to the British Basketball League. You know, many players, they take time to adjust. Seems like for him, it's not been so much time of adjustments.
It makes it easier when you have a high IQ. It doesn't matter what level you're on because you understand the game and you understand the concept your coach is trying to play with. So he's so smart. The transfer from Division 1 to the British Basketball League hasn't been as hard for him.
Rafa Thomas Edwards, and again, you mentioned the higher counted second chance points could be the difference. But go back to that shot selection by Tevin Ollison. Is that the kind of shot you want to be taking early on? Does the ball need to move a little bit better?
It does, but when you have Edwards to clean up like that, he was huge. Plus 13 on the night, their captain. He just did all the little things right.
Well, here we go, going in, finishing, getting the layup. And all of a sudden, the Flyers going on a bit of a run here with 4:45 to go. Well, basketball fans, we're going to take a short break. And as always, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, basketball fans. At the moment, game 2 here between the Bristol Flyers and, of course, the Cheshire Phoenix. These two teams met only a few days ago in which the Phoenix did take game 1, but it's all locked in at 14 apiece. Josh Bett alongside Kyler Nelson. Kyler, I mean, you mentioned this. The team that's had the most rebounds in previous meetings has been the team that's been more successful, but I got to ask you, who do you think that's going to be in this case from what we've seen so far?
Right now, my money's on Bristol. They've done a good job cleaning up the boards and making Cheshire be one and done on their end. And offensively, they're finding ways to crash much better. They only had 6 offensive rebounds in the first game. They average almost 15.
Well, there's another one, but the putback's no good. You made a very good point there, because Cheshire in the early stages were going for everything, but now Bristol, seemed to solidify that part of the hunger, because, it's a do-or-die game for them. They must win tonight. Well, here comes the ISO mode. Pulls up from 15, front iron, can't get it.
Bristol will live with that. One-on-one, mid-range jump shots. That's the kind of defense that they want to have and force Cheshire into.
That's going to be the second team foul against the Phoenix here in the first quarter. Already, John Jacob just coming into the game. You look at this team, Bristol, there's a plethora of great players in the backcourt. They've had a couple of injury issues this season, which has kind of hampered down. Now is not the time to look back. Now is the time to perform well here at home. Give yourself a chance. Trying to go for the ISO, twisting, turning, going in. That's a good move, but Kylie, he's got to finish that one.
He does. Faded too much to his left there, was unable to get that finger off.
All right, turn it over now. They got a chance here. Goes up, and now, well, no, they missed it. Finally getting into trouble. You just felt that basketball was defying the laws of gravity at one point.
Jacobs just wanted an extra rebound on his stat line there before the finish, but a great job. Both teams are known for getting steals and pushing it out, and Bristol doing it at home right now.
Well, that's one way to get yourself a double-double early on, but 6 turnovers already from the Flyers, 3 from the Phoenix. Ryan draws a foul. Again, he'll be going to the free. He is such a complicated player to defend, because if you put a center like Leslie Smith, he's going to bring you out to the perimeter. You put a big on him. Well, sorry, if you put a big on him, he's going to bring them to the perimeter. You put someone smaller, he's going to take him in the post. How do you defend this man?
Such a mismatch problem. You have to play defense early, make it difficult for him to catch the ball, force him way outside the three-point line. If he does catch the ball, it's just being able to stay square and straight. He's going to try and counter you if you force him one way or another. So it's just staying in front, force him to have to shoot it over you rather than getting by you or using his Euro step around you.
And it's one hell of a Euro step too. I mean, this guy covers like probably 4 of my regular steps when he goes to that for that Euro step.
Yeah, I like to call him the British Basketball League Luka Doncic, the way he kind of has those slow steps and those movements and
The
uses
shift
his
and the
body.
shape.
Yeah.
I like that. Flyers now, there's a turnover. Ethan Chagwa coming up playing very aggressive defense. Numbers, alley-oop. Chagwa unable to connect, but it's going to go out of bounds. Chagwa's asking, why are you throwing me an alley-oop at that angle?
Much better job by Bristol in transition defense, though. Cheshire went way over in fast break points in comparison to Bristol, and that really was a big part of that third quarter and second quarter where Cheshire were able to extend their lead. Bristol have to get back and force Cheshire to pass multiple times and get into some kind of offense in the half court.
Corey Samuels checking into the game for the first time. Samuels currently in the backcourt. Defended here by Stevens. Trying to get into a half-court set. Flyers looking to try and regain the lead. Jacob finds Brad Green. Kicks this one out. Good ball movement. Contested 3 in the corner. It's up. Another offensive ball. Can Green go for the putback? But again, he's looking a little bit timid here early on.
Yeah, just rush that shot there. They need to capitalize off of these second chances.
Just over 2 minutes left. Remember, if the Phoenix win this game, they will eliminate the Flyers here from the playoffs. A couple of pump fakes, no good. Goes over the backboard. That is an out-of-bounds violation. Bit of a slow regain here in the second part of the first quarter.
That's great defense by Brad Green. A post player that has to guard the perimeter. He forced, was that Cam Christen? Sorry, I missed Cam Christen. No, sorry, Holden. Forced Holden into having to pump fake twice before shooting the 3. That's what you want. Get them out of the rhythm from the three-point line.
Jacob looking to isolate, pulls up. Oh, again, a bit of a costly foul to give away, because now it's going to be 3 free throws coming up here for Trajan Jacob.
Yeah, fun fact for Cheshire is they average 5 more personal fouls in their losses than they do in their wins, which means Bristol have to go at Cheshire, force them into foul trouble, especially their main players early on, which they're doing really well.
Well, Jacob currently at the free throw line. He now will take 3 free throws. It's an interesting one because so much talent with this player. And there's been games this season where I felt like in the crunch time, the crucial moments, he has been so clinical in some of the big victories for them. One thing I like about him as well is just he has such a high release when he shoots a three-pointer. And in this case, we've just seen it. You try to block him, most likely you're going to commit a foul.
Yeah, you see the free throw right there, a high arcing shot, great rotation, backwards rotation on the ball, which shows great shooters. But FIU alumni coming out of Florida and done a great job here in Bristol, and he's found his role. He comes off the bench, but Bristol last game rotated 10 players. Coach wants to have a deep bench, wants everyone to get involved, which makes it even harder to play against.
Bordeaux put under pressure. It's going to be a turnover. Well, the Phoenix at the moment being tested, already leading this series tonight. And you know, you don't just come here to the Southwest and think it's going to be given to you on a plate. You've got to earn it. But you know, every good team, they go through challenges. Right now, we're going to see just how great of the team the Phoenix are.
We will, and that's turnover number 6 for Cheshire in the first quarter. Only had 15 in game 1. They need to take care of the ball.
Green go for a post-up. Use the strength, goes in. Finishes simply unstoppable by the Green Machine.
Bristol have to be happy with the type of shots they're getting. Make or miss, they're getting really good looks. 3-point shots, getting the ball inside early to Brad Green. It's what they need if they want to force a game 3.
Trying to orchestrate something. Time winding down. Chagwa's going to pull up. He can make these, and no problem with a hand in his face. Anytime you've got 6'10" hitting 3-pointers, you know it's going to be a long day on defense.
I thought Chagwa was great in game 1. He really started Cheshire with great momentum inside, which then opened up the 3-point line because they were worried about his drive and his ability to post smaller players and then shoot the 3 against the slower bigs.
Well, Chagwa's committed a foul there. It's obviously to try and prevent the penetration. And Andreas Kapoulis is asking the question to Ed Udansky, why was an unsportsmanlike foul not called? This is such a subjective argument, the unsportsmanlike foul. I think he's probably asking why it wasn't a shooting foul, but you could see his first reaction was unsportsmanlike. But that's a tough one. It's never a debate. I mean, I always get into it, I say that, but it's one I don't have an answer for. Jacob going for a deep one, can't get it. Smith chases down the rebound, but it falls into the hands of Aaron Wright. Samuels commits the foul on Kyler. 42.7, Bristol leading by 2. They're sending the Phoenix to the free throw line.
But if they don't send him that way, they may have gotten an easy transition bucket there. So at least you're making Aaron Wright earn 2 points rather than an easy one.
It's going to be Wright's 3rd journey to the charity stripe here in the first quarter. 42.7, he can tie the game up if he makes both of these.
You can tell he's come into this game probably quite mad about how he played in game 1. Happy, obviously, about the win, but his contribution after doing so much throughout the season, and he's made his mark early in this game by getting to that free throw line.
Well, he missed the 2nd free throw. Jacob with the rebounds. Flyers go quickly. They have to go super quick. They could go 2 for 1, but I think they're going to try and go for the best shot here on offense. Johnson, the player that we said to look out for. Coming off a ball screen with Brad Green, nowhere to go. Makes a tough pass, finds Jacob. I think he stepped out of bounds. It's a costly turnover there for the Flyers, so Phoenix will get it back. Final possession of the first quarter, potentially.
Bristol have done a good job on the offensive boards, which means they have to get shots up. They cannot turn the ball over. You need to know where your feet are on the court.
Well, Rye's going to bring this one up. That's the beauty of this team. So many players who can orchestrate the offense. Chagwa, you can see Ben Thomas saying, too early, too early. Now set the ball screen. Rye goes in, that's a Euro step. Kicks out, 3 is up, no good, but not a bad offense. And here, Flyers, one last chance. Johnson goes up, and he will not connect. Well, at the end of the first quarter, game 2 of the playoffs between the Bristol Flyers and the Phoenix is currently the home team who has a 1-point lead. We will return momentarily. Welcome back. This is the British Basketball League Playoffs Game 2 fixture between our hosts, the Bristol Flyers, and the visitors, the Cheshire Phoenix. Phoenix currently leading this series, but down 1 point here as we begin to commence the second quarter. A bit of a sluggish, slow start, to say the least, from both these two teams, with Chagwa just taking Brad Green to school inside the paint.
And that's the mismatch we saw in game 1. He did the exact same thing. Caused Brad Green into foul trouble, and he only played 14 minutes because of it.
Well, Green got it on the perimeter, looking to give this one up. Ollison goes in with a bit of a Euro step. That was beautiful. Sliced and diced the defenders up on that one.
Yeah, finished with that inside hand. Lovely.
So far, going back and forth, exchanging buckets. Rideau goes in with a teardrop, can't get it. Rebound has been secured by Keedy Johnson. Flyers looking to extend their lead. Johnson pulls off from 15, but too much on it. Now here come the Phoenix. Going all the way again. Well, the foul has been called, so 2 free throws.
It's not about turnovers for Bristol as well. It's about shot selection, because that leads to these kind of transition opportunities for Cheshire. That quick mid-range pull up by Ollison, and there's no one getting back defensively.
Well, one thing you have to appreciate about the Phoenix, I mean, whenever they come up with a loose ball, they are so quick to go out and transition. Is it fair to say that because they are such a good perimeter shooting team, they take 3-pointers on the fast break, that gives them so much belief to really get out as quick as possible?
Oh, absolutely. And they want to get out to that 3-point line. And if there are long closeouts by the defense, they have that ability to go by them and drive. So they've got so many pieces that can do a bit of everything. It's really hard, especially in transition, when you already have a disadvantage as a defense.
Well, Bradley trying to go for the fadeaway. Brad Green comes up with it. So it's going to be an out-of-bounds violation against Brad Green. So possession will go back to the Phoenix. 1-point lead to the visitors. A win tonight, they'll close this series out, and it would be bye-bye for Bristol here in the postseason. Of course, the Flyers did find a bit of form towards the end of the regular season. Rideau comes up, hitting his second 3-pointer, and I think the Flyers are going to have to pay the double price, because Phoenix will get it back. Now, who have they called the foul on here? It's a 4-point lead to Cheshire, but it's going to be a baseline possession back to the visitors. Have a look at the replay. Oh, it's on. Oh, deliberate push in the back there. Yeah, good call by the official. But now finally Bristol will come up with possession. That's a tough one. You want to contest rebounds, but yeah, Lucas cannot just be pushing players in the back like that. You've got to be more disciplined.
Definitely, but Shargot definitely sold it. That's a big man that fell quite easily. That's what you have to do when you feel that push in your back.
Also being chased here by Aaron Wright. Good hands by Chagwa. Time winding down. Lucas looking to attack. Goes up, well, just threw his body out, nothing cool, but here come the Phoenix. Trying to push the ball quickly with Rideau. He's made 2 threes. Gets his own rebound. Connor, I think the hunger table has turned. I think Cheshire right now proving the points.
Yeah, Cheshire have woken up with a huge 3 right there. Time out, Bristol.
Wow, you just see it after every single rebound. This team just wants it a little bit more.
And it starts with LaQuincy Rideau, an absolute competitor. Can't help but go for those boards. Nice ball movement there, and splashes it in. That is what Cheshire does.
And you said it as well. It all starts with LaQuincy Rideau's appetite to want it a little bit more than the Bristol players. These Bristol players got to realize these fans, they are what make this team. You got to win tonight. You got to take this to a game 3. So when a player is taking a 3-point and gets his own rebound, that's just not good enough at playoff level.
Absolutely, and you know Cheshire are the #1 in the league for 3-point makes a game. You have to close out and make them do something else. Once they get a rhythm, it's really hard to stop, and we saw that in the second quarter and early in the third in game 1, which really hurt Bristol.
Well, they've gathered themselves. They've built a 7-point lead, their biggest lead so far here in the game. The question is, can they maintain it? It's always tough when you're up against a team whose backs are against the walls. Bristol will be desperate. They'll do anything to stay in this series and push it to a game 3. Because this man took this franchise from the lowest possible league here of basketball in the United Kingdom. And he brought them to the promised land of the British Basketball League for the 2014-15 season. There's been some tremendous highs. There's also been a lot of lows, of course. But, you know, he, in my mind, he has been the face of pro basketball here in Bristol. There's no argument.
Yeah, he's helped build what you see right there, a packed out crowd, high level team that are now competing in Europe, and he's kind of been through this program the whole journey. Ability to win, we saw them win a lot of games at home last year, not so many this year, but they're in this playoffs and they won a game 3.
Well, what a rejection by Aaron Wright. Now, Flyers building confidence. Maceo Jack goes in. Good defense by Keedy Johnson, drawing the charge. Well, you're up by 7. The momentum's going in your favor. You want to keep pushing. You can't make those mistakes.
Good job by Bristol, though, coming out of that timeout. Look a little bit more awake and understanding that they need to win this game and they can't allow Cheshire to get too far away from them.
Well, they've yet to make a 3-point field goal. And they don't want that to be the difference. They haven't scored for almost 100 seconds. Jacob comes off the dribble handoff. Allison hesitates. He'll go in for a little teardrop. Too strong off the backboard. Goes out of bounds, but the Phoenix will regain possession.
But if you're Bristol, that's what you want, is Phoenix to have to get the ball out from the baseline and go 94 feet rather than being able to get a rebound and run. So you'd rather poke that ball out of bounds.
Well, Rideau is going to orchestrate things here in the backcourt. And the nightmare that you have against the Phoenix. So many perimeter options. There's another one, Chagwa. Oh, you might as well just invite them. Hey, take game 2. Here's an invitation, and you can have a free buffet too.
What can't he do? And it's hard because as a post player, you're just so trained to help on everything. And he has to know, Brad Green, that he has to stay with those shooters.
Johnson pulls up a 3, can't get it. This is much better though for Bristol. Fighting for second chances. Tries again. That's a hot. That's what you need here for playoff basketball. Keedy Johnson making a difference.
And that's why you need second chance opportunities. This Bristol team finding their way when they get offensive rebounds.
Cutting it back down to 7 points. Chagwa's at the mismatch. Double team comes over. Finds Aaron Wright wide open. Another three is up. Good contest there, but now the Flyers. Can they chip in again? Well, they have to build possession by possession. Nice play by Tollison, avoiding the block. Tough finish.
Really efficient player, as we spoke about. 60% from the field last game, able to do it all, and his knees are going to get hot if they want to win.
That's a tough move. Again, this guy fakes out the defense. You said it, Kyla. It's that Euro step that separates this man from any other player in the league. He is so deceptive. Right here, there, slicing two defenders up. They have no clue where he is.
But it's the way he moves the ball and his arms as well. He fakes with his eyes and his arms. He gets the ball up high, so if your hands are there, you're most likely going to hit part of his body.
Again, has his free throw struggles, but again, no problem here with the first one. Was played in the Ivy League system in the NCAA. Originally from beautiful Canada, the lovely area of Ontario.
Number 2 in free throws made this season in the league.
Keeping this game at 7 points difference. Flyers now looking for something. Good penetration by Johnson now. Well, bit of a hard foul there by Skylar White. And you can see the reaction again. Listen, this is where I might need to agree. Let's have a look at the replay. Watch Johnson here. White's gone for the ball. It's right there. It's a very subjective argument, but I can understand why Andreas Kapoulis has signaled for an unsportsmanlike foul.
No, I definitely saw that on that one. After White realized that Johnson was going to go by him, he kind of held him a little bit longer to prevent the and one. And at that point, is he going for the ball? Is he holding the body?
So I think at the beginning, there's a genuine attempt to go for the ball. I'd say you could argue the point once he's up in the air, is Skylar White just trying to help him out, protect him? You don't know. Again, I'm not a referee, I'm not trying to criticize, but these are always good talking points. Because now they cut down the deficit slightly, just over halfway to go here in the second quarter. I mean, you know what it's like. You played at a very elite level. When you're up in the air, any contact is always dangerous.
It is. You have to be careful, especially, I wasn't very athletic. I could hardly jump over a piece of paper.
Way more athletic than me, so no
But
arguments.
these men right here, they are able to get up there. And you have to be careful when there's contact, especially around the rim, just to protect each other.
Well, looking for the isolation, nowhere to go here. Good defense. Good hands by Olsen. Now, can Bristol convert this one? Johnson draws another foul. That's going to be the third team foul against the Phoenix. You like it? Well, Bristol fans, 4:57 to go here in the second quarter. We'll take a short break, and as always, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back. Playoff basketball here in the British Basketball League. At the moment, it's game 2 between the Cheshire Phoenix and the Bristol Flyers. The Phoenix, if they win tonight, they'll wrap up the series. Unless the Flyers have something to say about that. And already a nice little response there from Jacob. Again, the elevation, he's tough.
He is. Bristol before then had no bench points in that second quarter. So good job by Jacob getting himself involved.
Trying to penetrate, but Smith's able to secure the rebounds. Now the Flyers, 2 possession deficit at the moment. Thomas Edwards 3 in the corner contested, but he doesn't get it. Phoenix looking to counterattack.
Great transition defense. 3 Bristol Flyers in the paint to stop Aaron Rye there.
At this point now, they need everything and anything to try and stay in this game. Finding Chagwa. Time winding out. He's made 2 threes in for Rideau. Can't get this one. Good defense by the Flyers. It's been a roller coaster of emotions in this game so far, Kyla.
Definitely has. Lots of momentum shifts.
Smith went for the quick 3-point in. I got to ask you, that shot's a tough one because you're trying to get back into it. It's wide open, yes. Is it the right shot to take?
In that instant, probably no. More because of rhythm. You want to get the ball inside, force Cheshire to have to help. Then you've got those easier rhythm threes coming from inside the paint. When you practice shooting, a lot of it, the passes come from inside. So you actually probably shoot at a higher rate, where it's just that one quick pass and shot. Especially with Leslie Smith only being 26% from the 3, makes it hard.
And that's the thing as well. Look, take nothing away. Leslie Smith is one of the ultimate players that any GM or coach would want on the team in this league. But, you know, quick shot, you just come up with a big play defensively. Collectively, you want to get some more rhythm, as you said, get into the game a little bit.
You do, and Bristol actually in the first quarter, I thought had some really good looks from the 3s that they weren't able to knock down. They need to play that way. It's unselfish, having the ball move, and then they'll find the open 3s.
Well, Smith coming up to set the ball screen for Allison. Now we're under 10 the shot clock. Allison turning it over. That time Smith was wide open. Here comes Chagwa. Goes in all the way again, looking like a baby Dr. J, or even a George Gervin, if you like, with that. Your brother did this for Great Britain. The Fangaro, I like to call it.
What a lovely touch there over the front of the rim, and we've seen him do it all in this game already.
We'll find Smith inside the paints. It's going to get called for traveling violation, a bit of a hesitation, but, you know, Kyla, good crash on defense by the Phoenix.
They swarmed Smith on that catch, and they were there on the rotation. He was not ready to make a move with 3 Cheshire Phoenix players all over him.
Trailing by 6 points. It could have been 2 points. Now the Phoenix trying to regain some momentum. Just under 3 minutes left here in the first half. Phoenix right now looking to close out. Flyers trying to relive and trying to save their season. Chagwa's made 2. That guy now. They need numbers ahead. They don't quite have it. Allison, this one's wide open. The nice follow by Thomas Edwards, and again, second chance points. Kyla, I'll reiterate what you said. If they're going to win this game, they're going to need more of those tonight.
They will. They're the lowest shooting percentage, field goal percentage in the league, so they need extra possessions, extra points, and it stops Cheshire from being able to get down in transition.
Well, Aaron Rye just put in the ice in isolation on a play, twisting in the backcourt. I mean, the help side defense. It's almost looking like England basketball level 1 shell drill at the moment.
Bristol have to get stops if they want to stay in this game. If they want to stay in the playoffs, if I'm honest, and cannot allow Aaron Rye to just come down the middle and finish that easily from 2.
Jacob looking to go, and again, you like the tempo he's playing at, but he turns it over. I gotta tell you, Kyle, I like that though from Jacob. Trying to go quickly. Yes, he lost control of it, but Flyers, if they go at the Phoenix, this could very well be their game. They have the personnel to do it.
They do, and Jacob isn't happy about something there. He has a lot to say, and he needs to be aggressive. Bristol need their bench players to be productive, but they need to be efficient also. That's 2 turnovers for him already, so yes, he has to find his rhythm in this game, but he has to do it in a way without giving Cheshire the ball back.
Well, basketball fans, it's time for us now to explain how the playoffs work here in the British Basketball League. Well, here you have your quarterfinal matchups. Of course, London Lions take on the Scorchers. It will indeed be the highest seed in the next round, the semifinals, that will take on the lowest seed. On the other 2s, it will be the second highest seed against the second lowest seed. And of course, the winner from those series, they will make it to the finals on Sunday, the 19th of May at the O2 Arena. If you haven't done so already, make sure you buy your tickets today. It's one of the greatest occasions in the history of British basketball. And at the end, only one team will be unbeatable as they will lift the trophy of the 2024 British Basketball League Playoff Championship. Kyler, you got to be there because, you know, we got to get our tickets. We got to go say, I've heard a rumor. Those tickets are selling out quite quickly.
Yeah, hardly any left, so you need to be able to book yours in now, and you want to be there. Only one team can finish the season with a win, and everyone's fighting, I think, this year, especially in the league. You've seen every team beat everyone. There's been upsets. A lot of teams have played better away than home this year. That doesn't happen often, one being Cheshire, so they're hoping that continues in this game to be able to finish this series out. But you need to be there for the finale, and both the men's and women's games, whoever ends up being there is going to be a spectacle.
Well, 6-point lead currently to the Phoenix. A bench technical has been called against the Flyers. Something, of course, the emotions flying high for both these two teams, but composure's what's needed right now. We're now closest to the end of the first half. The Phoenix, who lead this series 1-0, now lead by 7 points.
That's 13 free throws already for Cheshire.
It's definitely one of those, halftime talk. What do you think Andreas Kapoulis will be saying to his players? You've talked about the free throws. You talked about the, giving up too many second chances. Is this going to be a multitude of things, or is there going to be a specific, defined message he'll give to his players?
Have to defend the three-point line. Cheshire 42% already. They've only scored 10 points in the paint. Have to be able to get out there, and Bristol are deciding to switch on ball screen, so their post players have to step up rather than drop back on that, although that time they didn't switch.
Well, Rye went in for the penetration, too strong off the backboard. Here come the Flyers. Again, a goal for them. Try to get this close to equalizing before the end of the first half. They've got to take care of the basketball. 90 seconds under left. Smith now went in. You like that from Leslie Smith, taking it right to Skylar White. Of course, that's the fourth and final team foul against, Ethan Chagwa.
You get rewarded when you go 100%. And great job, big body there. Need to draw fouls on these Cheshire players to get them out of a rhythm and force them to have to rotate a bit more.
Neither any more fouls to give for any of these two teams. And they went for the lob, and again, they turned it over. Foul's going to be called, and that's a costly foul. Well, not quite sure what happened in the backcourt. Well, Allison should have no arguments with the foul. The only problem is it's team foul, so they go right to the free throw line.
Holding his left shoulder there, just checking everything's okay, and he got a great tip defending the baseline out of bounds player. #1 in the league in steals per game, and he does it again.
I think an unsportsmanlike foul has been called. This is interesting because you do see these called in transition, but usually it's when, wow. There's a lot that goes into this call, of course, but
it's just hard because it's so subjective. We spoke about there's a couple other plays that we thought could have been turned that way too. So it's just down to the referees on the night, and it's your job as a player and as a coach to adjust to how the referees are calling things.
I'll tell you what, I love the confidence, the swag that LaQuincy Rideau brings to the British Basketball League when he's played for Cheshire this season. I mean, it's almost like he's fearless. He doesn't care who you are, how tall you are, how big you are. He is not afraid of anybody.
He's not, and he showed out in the trophy finals, trophy MVP. Great thing about him is his percentages necessarily aren't the best. Free throw line is 61%, but he just looks like he's comfortable anywhere on the floor.
Well, Skylar White, hand his face, can't get it. Samuels Towers for the rebound, but it falls into the hands of Aaron Wright. Rideau's been on fire so far, can't get this one. Now the Flyers are able to grab the rebound. Trailing by 8 points, just over a minute left. Bristol just trying to find the spacing here in their offense. Well, this time it's a good three by Smith. He gets fouled again. Good execution, may not have made it, but he's going to the charity stripe.
Yeah, much better three from him, and it looked like he stepped into it with more rhythm. Gets 3 free throws here, and that's how you're going to chip away at this deficit.
You like that simple pick and pop. I mean, Skylar White made no effort to come out, and I guess Skylar White wants to take that free throw, but
When you have Ollison coming off of a ball screen who can go downhill, Skylar White had to shadow him to make sure his other defender was with him on the switch, and just stepped way too deep and allowed Leslie Smith to be that open.
well, he misses the first free throw. Still 2 to come. A chance to cut this down back to a 6-point deficit. So we have 52.6 seconds left here in the first half. Well, Smith, of course, times he's had his consistent play because when being available, but he's had to battle through the injuries as we've already seen this season. Makes it 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Flyers fans anxiously looking on at the moment. Well, looks like, of course, these two teams will have a moment to talk it over. But you got to think now, for Cheshire, this situation, you got 52 seconds left. It's a perfect option for a 2-for-1 at the moment.
It is, and they've been on a rhythm from the three-point line, as usual. Missed the last few, but I think that's what they want to do. Find the mismatches. If Bristol do switch on the ball screens, that's what Cheshire are about. A lot of pick and roll actions and just reading what the defense are doing from that. If they switch, can the guard take the post going downhill, or can they hit the popping shooters and allow them to shoot over smaller players or even go and post up? So they'll want to push this pace, get a quick offense here and rely on their defense to have their momentum going into the half.
Well, the Flyers at the moment, a lot to sort out. They did pick up a bench technical. As we did see recently, have picked up an unsportsmanlike foul, but these are the trials, the challenges you need to go if you're going to try and take this to a game 3. Of course, their man Andreas Kapoulis, originally from Greece, has made the United Kingdom his home for almost 2 decades now. What a phenomenal coach. Worked with various national teams from England under-16s, GB youth teams as well. Nadeau here in the backcourt, heavily defended by Jacob. Almost turns it over. Remember, neither team has any fouls to give. Last thing you want to do now is send each other to the charity stripe. Hot screen set, going down low to Rye. Got it by Jacob. Rye turning around, just can't finish it. Flyers come up with it. Now the 2-for-1 most likely won't be on because, well, they didn't score in the first place, but 2 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Trying to wind this one down right to the final moments. Smith coming up for the ball screen. Lucas nowhere to go, finds Rafa Thomas Edwards. Step back, 3, hand his face, and he doesn't get it off in time. 24-second violation. The Flyers fans thought a potential 4-point play was coming up.
Yeah, shame there, but maybe that 3 will give him some rhythm in the second half on beyond the arc. I've really liked what the captain for Bristol has done in the playoffs so far. He doesn't do too much. He plays his role. He plays really hard, and he can knock that 3 down.
Well, got to go quickly here. Well, had a bit more time than he realized. Decided to go for the spectacular. That is the end of the first half. And Kyla, it's been like a roller coaster of emotions. You got to think, are the Flyers going to come back, or will Cheshire run away with this one?
We'll find out in the second half. Bristol need to come back into that half. I think they need to find that inside presence again. They found Brad Green early in the game, and it was really good for them. He had some easy early looks, make or miss, that's good for them. And as soon as a defender stepped in to help on him, he kicked it out, and there were 1 more passes, and Bristol were able to find open 3s. It's about, are they able to knock them down?
Well, we're going to take a short break, and as always, we'll be back momentarily. Welcome back, basketball fans. This is playoff basketball here in the British Basketball League between our hosts, the Bristol Flyers, and the visitors, Cheshire Phoenix. If Phoenix win tonight, it would all be wrapped up. But if the Flyers win, we're going to a game 3. Well, Josh bet alongside Kyla Nelson. Kyla, what do the Flyers need to change in the second half?
They need to get stops and cause Cheshire to be one and done on the offensive end. Force them to take mid-range pull-up jump shots. Right now they're hitting from 3, only 10 points in the paint. So you have to be able to close them out hard, force them to put the ball on the floor and just rotate really well. And then on the offensive end, move the ball. They have to move the ball.
Well, we need to take a look at the stats from this game. And I think one thing that we've pointed out, of course, you mentioned fast break points have been crucial, but only one three-pointer from the Flyers.
They need to start getting hot from the beyond the arc if they want a chance in this game. And they tied Cheshire last game with 12 threes, and that's what brought them back into the second half. We'll need to shoot better, especially at home for the Flyers.
Well, again, we need to relive some of the most exciting moments here in the first half as we run it back to the tail of the half. And, you know, it's been like a roller coaster of emotions. I keep saying this to sound like a broken record, but, you know, one team's in it, the other team comes back, and then they always seem to go the other way.
Basketball is a game of runs, and both teams have some dogs in their roster that are really competitive. They don't want to lose, and they find ways to get it done. As you see, a nice layup there by Smith. Nice little step back, pull back with the crossover there. Bristol have scorers and ability to go one-on-one. It's just about balancing that. And there's a man right there, LaQuincy Rideau. He's just gotten more and more confident as the season's gone on, especially from the three-point line.
Well, you like to see this as well, the battle of the bigs. We didn't see Brad Green too much in the second quarter. I mean, Ethan Chagwa, one thing I love about him is he is able to bring the defense away. But again, how many Euro steps have we seen tonight?
It's great footwork, and it just shows how important fundamentals are at the highest level. Professional basketball, and you're just seeing all these Euro steps. It's great to see.
Well, of course, it's been exciting stuff at the moment, but, you know, one thing you've got to appreciate here, as I mentioned, how many three-pointers? We've seen this all season. Are you going to give the Cheshire Phoenix?
But Cheshire are doing a good job of noticing which post player is stepping too deep inside to help, being one pass away and just finding that shooter who they're guarding. If Bristol will continue to switch like we spoke about, they have to be okay with stepping up and not allowing open threes.
Well, again, the transition play has been fantastic here from both these two teams, but offensive rebounds, Kyle, as you mentioned, could be the crucial difference.
And when Bristol were closest to Cheshire, it was from getting second chance opportunities. It was from crashing the boards hard, which meant Cheshire, again, weren't able to push as much in transition because Bristol were getting better looks so they can get back on defense, force Cheshire into the half court, and that's where they'll be more successful.
Well, Bristol fans, it is halftime, but we're not going to leave you with anything, of course. We're going to leave you with the highlights of Game 1 between London and Surrey, but also go back to the exciting Game 1 between the Phoenix and the Flyers.
Here's right. I got kind of stuck there. Bristol looking to run. It's Bradley. Oh, my goodness. Levi Bradley through the block for the score. Jack is off and running. Holding out in front is Jack. Checks his feet. That's worth 3.
Told you. He finds his way somehow.
Holden's going to fire up the 3, and that's going to hit the bottom of the net as well. And Cheshire have an 11-point lead. Johnson has the switch. He's going to fire up the 3. Back-to-back threes for the Flyers. Skylar White on the trail, knocks down the triple. First shot of the game for Skylar White, and it's good for 3. Here's Skylar White, who loves the three-point line, knocks down another. He leaves Lucas on the floor, and he hits the 3. Ollison spinning into the key. A lovely soft touch at the end of it. It's the battle of the defensive rebounds when these two teams met. Which one can take control, keep a team to 1 shot? Oh, nice move, and jammed in. Smith gonna fire up the 3, and it's a single-digit game here. Ollison long arms that one up and in. It's a 3-point game. Driving in, White, big shot for 3. Skylar White in the corner with a huge 3 to double the lead. Johnson. Well, they're sagging off him. He shoots the three and he makes the three. Big shot from Keedy Johnson. Rideau running it down into single figures. Round the screen he goes. Back to White. White can't create some room. Gets the shot off anyway. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me, Skylar White? Well, it's back to Ollison. Well, there isn't time for that. He gets the shot away. Doesn't matter. It goes in. Doesn't matter. It's a 1-point win for the Cheshire Phoenix, and that is all that matters as far as Ben Thomas and the Knicks are concerned. Taylor on the trail all the way to the basket.
London Lions makes them pay.
Gooden backs out for the triple. Finally, Surrey on the board. Olasheni inside. We've seen that all season long. Kept alive by Josh Sharma. Nice pass. Beautiful assist from Josh Sharma. Make that 25-11. Well, Decker with the steal, and Decker will run it back for the easy dunk. One here, and there's Jamison doing what he does best with the offensive rebound and putback. Nice pass, and Grantham jamming it down.
Struggling to defend that.
Nice pass. Jamison rolling to the rim, gets the easy layup. Oh, that's a beautiful fast break by the Lions. Morgan still has it. Shot clock is low. Matt Morgan fires up the three and knocks it down.
Gosh.
Gooden with the spin, gets his feet in the paint and drops it in for two.
Beautiful move.
And the Lions leading this one comfortably and getting off to the perfect start with an easy dunk. Trying to go to work and doing it really well to the rim.
And there's a lovely finish by Lawrence.
And there's another three. Cooper knocking it down. Olasheni, there we go. Finally, London have their first basket in open play in the fourth quarter.
Maybe London Lions offense a little bit too stagnant. Too many guys standing around. That's a lovely bank shot.
And they will win this one by 15, but Surrey with a heck of a fourth quarter. They won that period 21 points to 7.
Surrey can build off of that, but London Lions get their job done.
Welcome back, basketball fans. It is playoff time here. You can see the results and fixtures going on at the moment. Surrey Scorchers trailing by 4 points. Newcastle Eagles looking to wrap it up as they lead by 15 at halftime. And Cheshire Phoenix leading here by 6 points against the Bristol Flyers. What a game it's been. Oh, again, Kyla, we need to go to this current game between the Cheshire Phoenix and the Bristol Flyers. And, you know, there's only been one player of the half, and that man, of course, has been Aaron Rye.
Yeah, and he's done it all. And I like that he's been aggressive from the inside today. You see there, just a miscommunication by defense. He comes, cleans up the boards for an easy 2. And he had a quiet one last game, only 8 points. He's already gone above that in the first half with 11. He was mad about his production, and he knows he needs to do more as Cheshire continues to be in this playoffs.
Well, of course, it's now or never here for the Flyers, as it is for the Scorchers, and as it is for the Caledonian Gladiators. Every fan in the British Basketball League loves to hear 2 things right now. 2 words, Game 3.
And that's why the league brought it back, is the excitement. It's having to win a game, and it's one and done at that point. Yes, it's Game 3, but only one of you are continuing, and it just makes it really exciting for everyone in the league.
Well, an offensive foul called early on. Again, the kind of tempo the Flyers can't afford to play here. They've got to, I mean, we talk about coming out with heart, hunger, but you got to play with composure as well.
Like we talk about, Bristol need to get a shot up every possession. Make or miss, it gives them offensive rebounding opportunities, allows them to set up defensively, and gives them a chance. They can't go empty like that.
Oh, right down the other end, the same goes here for the Phoenix. You want to close this out. You don't want to take this home back to a Game 3. You want to get the job done tonight.
Yeah, sloppy start for both teams. This isn't playoff basketball. This isn't what they need in order to win this game.
Flyers will get it back, looking to get the first 2 points, maybe 3, but only 35 at the end of the first half. Not enough here from Bristol. Well, Lucas Ollison along with Johnson. Green side of the paint, pump fakes, goes in. No foul calls. He's looking for the contact. And here comes Cheshire. Maceo Jack, the only change so far here in the second half is Chagwa thought about going for a 3-pointer.
You can see the difference in Bristol. They've stepped up and out of the 3-point line to defend.
Well, Aaron Rye coming in from the weak side. Ollison forgetting to box him out. Rye trying to post up, going in, playing a bit of bully basketball. And it's all Phoenix. He's
lived in that post up a lot today. Understand he's bigger, stronger than some of these Bristol guards, and taking advantage of that.
Well, they need Brad Green to get something going inside the paint. Johnson baseline. Hangs in the air again. Well, this time they call the foul against Ethan Chagwa. Chagwa came over that one. Maybe they called it a Maceo Jack, actually. Let's have a look at the replay.
Nice baseline drive there by Johnson, and just his ability to hang in the air, force the defenders to put their arms down and definitely cause contact. But let's talk about Brad Green, his ability to pass out of the post, not just play out of it. Of course, he's got those hook shots and his bully ball, but his vision, if you watch him catch it on the block, his first thought is his head turns and he looks towards the middle so he can see everyone, and he has guards spacing out on the weak side where the ball isn't, and that's a great skip to Johnson to allow him to drive.
Now, do you think they should try to go more inside the paint here too, Brad Green? I mean, as you made a very, very good point there, but you know, not only for his game, but also opens a little bit more up in their offense, as you mentioned.
It does, because then Cheshire have to decide, do they go help and double on Brad Green or allow him to play one-on-one in the post? If they do, it opens up a lot of other Bristol players.
Well, they had an opportunity to transition. They failed to capitalize. Still trailing by 6 points. Early stages here in the third quarter. Bristol fighting for everything here this evening. Must win tonight, or their season will be over. They'll go behind the back, fires Chagwa. Again, it's just a bit of a scramble on defense here for the Flyers.
It was, and again, another switch, and on that switch, you see Lucas ends up on the back of Chagwa, and he just does a good job rolling and keeping him there, and all you can do at that point is foul. The pick and roll continues to disrupt Bristol Flyers defensively.
Prior to coming to this league, he did play the lower divisions of French professional basketball. Because the world is the horizon for this man, really coming here and, you know, being crucial to their success so far this season. It's not often you find a big of his caliber that can do the things he can do, but what's most impressive about him is, you know, if you can shoot the perimeter, if you can shoot the three-pointer, you cause a lot of problems for any defense.
And I love that it doesn't matter if he starts or comes off the bench, he's always ready to play and contribute.
Bradley going for a post-up, bit of contact. It's 2 free throws coming up here for Levi Bradley. The foul's going to be called against Cam Holden. Well, every possession is going to count in. Cal, I've got to ask you, if you're Bristol, getting into the penalty early in the third and the upcoming fourth quarter, is that going to be pivotal, you think, to trying to get back in this game?
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. One, you get easy points, hopefully, from the free throw line. But another thing is then you're forcing Cheshire to play defense in a different way if they get in foul trouble. Lastly, it slows the game down. Cheshire aren't able to then run up and down, get quick possessions offensively, because you're stopping the clock from the free throw line, gives you more time and chances to score the ball.
Makes both free throws. Flyers trying to hang in there. We're currently live here. This beautiful city in the southwest. It's been accustomed to seeing good basketball over the years. Chagwa left too much time and space. Again, Carter, I don't think Bristol's learned the lesson.
They haven't, because Chagwa's shooting that in such a rhythm. It's just a catch and shoot. He's not thinking about anyone around him, which means Bristol are not close enough to him.
Well, Lucas left wide open. Can he respond? That's what they need. But again, Kyler, they've got to stop giving Cheshire wide open three-pointers.
Yeah, they can't rely on shooting threes to get out of it.
That's another case. He's missed that one, but man has made 3 of them so far this evening.
It's interesting because you see different teams in this league defend Cheshire in a multitude of ways. I remember Bristol really defended the three-point line and was spread out, leaving a big gap inside. Whereas Bristol are more inside the paint, helping off of shooters, and you just can't do that, especially when they've already made 6 threes today.
Well, Kenny Johnson's coming out here for Rapid Thomas Edwards, but yeah, of course, I think the tough part for Brad Green is we know what a phenomenal post player he is, but that's always going to be a mismatch for him defensively when you have to defend someone on the perimeter.
Just not natural for a player that's played for a long time inside the paint, playing with big guys, bumping them, to having to move your feet. Post players aren't as great laterally, moving side to side and defending. That's where guards are able to get by them. And they're always told to help, which makes it really hard when you've got a shooter in the perimeter and you're meant to stay with them.
6-point ball game, potentially 2 possessions if you have to go from the perimeter, but good kick out, but a tough 3 in the corner's up. Maybe one more pass there for Rapid Thomas Edwards. No finds Chagwa. Hesitates, now he takes the 3, and again, you may need to change up the game plan. This man is simply punishing the Bristol Flyers.
At some point, Brad Green has to trust his defenders behind him and help and force Chagwa to do something else other than shoot rhythm threes.
Well, they've called an offensive foul here against Levi Bradley. Well, it was almost like a cookie jar was there in Laquincy Rideau. Well, here's a 3-pointer by Ethan Chagwa. Hesitates, pump fakes. No problem for the big man.
That's really hard in finding a balance of when to play Brad Green, because he gives you so much on the offensive end, but there are mismatches defensively for him. And is he able to balance his scoring and his advantage offensively with what Bristol are giving up defensively with him on the floor?
Phoenix, so far, every year they've been able to rise above the expectations, making history. Still one more job to do. They can do it again. They did beat the Lions at the trophy final. Many didn't expect them to do so. And who's to say that they can't get back, but they're gonna have to win tonight to get there. Rideau now, he'll go for a 3, can't get it. It's Bradley Towers with a rebound. Flyers fighting for everything. Again, no need to push the panic button now, but there's a double. Good passing, finds Bradley in the corner. Again, you know, Carter, one thing I've been impressed about this Phoenix team, they rotate so quickly, and they're always helping each other out on defense.
Yeah, they do. Bristol only made 2 threes so far in this game with some decent looks.
Scramble 3-pointer taken there by Maceo Jack. Foul's gonna be called against Laquincy Rideau. 5:41 left here in the third quarter. 9-point lead to the Phoenix.
It'll be great to see Bristol here really execute their sets. They were able to get some good looks in game one from a lot of off-ball movement, screening, cuts. The ball moves quickly without a lot of dribbles, and that's where they'll find an advantage against Cheshire.
Wallison looking for ISO. Finds another offensive foul and a legal screen setting. It's just one calamity after the next here for the Flyers.
That was right in front of the referee. He had to call that. And we know this season that they're really keeping an eye out on moving screens, both on and off the ball.
Well, definitely it's no argument. You can see there with the right elbow. That's what I said earlier. I mean, it's all good coming out here with the fire, the hunger, but you've got to show composure at one point.
You do. You need to get shots up against Cheshire. You need those possessions.
Well, Smith comes up with a double team, and again, if that's the defense you're going to play, give a wide open layup off a miscommunication, you might as well sign the season off.
That double team's coming way too wide, allowing him to just part those C's. Leslie Smith has to come and double much closer to the initial defender.
That's going to be a blocking foul called against Ulf. I think they were looking for a traveling violation potentially called, but 4:51 to go here in the third quarter. Cheshire Phoenix currently leading by 11 points. We're going to take a short break, and as always, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back to Bristol. This is playoff basketball, game 2 between the Flyers and the Phoenix. Phoenix currently leading this series 1-0. Leslie Smith currently the free throw line as the Flyers do trail by 11 points. And last few possessions, Kyla, it hasn't looked too good here for the Flyers.
It hasn't, and you'd hope to see them start picking it up in this third and using these extra free throw points to get them back into it. But in game 1, we saw them really come out in the third quarter, only allowing Cheshire to score 13 points in the entire quarter. They already have 12. At some point, Bristol have to get stops in order to get back into this game.
Rafa Thomas Edwards fighting. Another foul's gonna be called, but you gotta give credit to Rafa Thomas Edwards. I mean, playoff basketball, you've got to win. Your back's up against the wall. It's a play like that that has to inspire your teammates.
Every coach wants a player like Thomas Edwards because he does the little gritty things really well. Look at him just pushing legally Chagua under the basket to give him that position to offensive rebound, and he gets back on the line for Bristol. These are the plays that you need when it's a win or go home or stay home game.
And he makes the first free throw, cutting it back down to single digits.
He was big in game 1, highest plus minus on the team. Really efficient and productive, and that's what they'll need.
Makes them both. Played many many good seasons for the Flyers, and went to Germany, took up a coach's role. Since then decided to come back. They've only missed 3 free throws tonight, 4 misses here for the Phoenix. Holding now, trying to look for a backdoor play. Nowhere to go. Chagwa guarded by Ollison. Now wants to take him inside the paints. And defense falls asleep, and they pay the price big time from Aaron Wright.
Yeah, shame there, because I thought Bristol did a better job of forcing Cheshire into one-on-one dribble penetration, but then you get caught sleeping on the backdoor cut. Only 16 points in the paint for Cheshire this game so far.
They took a gamble. They should have a player down. Sanders went for the tough kick out. Thomas Edwards, he'll fire a tough 3. Just can't get it. Well, someone goes for the gamble. You're 5-on-4. You should be able to create a high percentage look.
You have to capitalize once you get that advantage of 5-on-4. How do you make it bigger? How do you create a great look for your team? And they're just unable to do that.
3:52, head coach Andreas Kapos. Plenty of time left in this game. No need to push the panic button whatsoever.
Yeah, the great thing about Coach Kapil is he's been in almost every situation and experienced it all as a head coach. He understands what it's like being down at certain points in the game and what it takes, and knowing his team and knowing Cheshire, they've played, this is the 6th time of playing Cheshire. He knows them, and he'll know what his team needs to do to get back into it.
Holding currently the free throw line, missed the second one. Big rebound by Jacob. Bristol possession by possession, need to try and find a way back in this one. So far the Phoenix have dictated everything on both ends of the floor. Johnson now, tough crossover. Ollison looking for an option. Time's winding down. It's going to be a little bit way off the mark, but Leslie Smith battling for an offensive rebound. Draws a foul, he'll go to the free throw line.
Spoke about it at the beginning of the game. Offensive rebounds and rebounds in general is what will keep Bristol in the running in this playoff. But that offensive possession, they got a pass in the middle, but it just took too long. Bristol players are holding the ball, allowing Cheshire to reset defensively with their help side, and the ball's getting stuck. Leslie Smith made something out of nothing there, and he gets a chance to add 2 points on the board.
Well, the free throw inconsistencies from Leslie Smith. I mean, he's been terrific every time he's on the floor. You can see definitely every extra effort he's given tonight, but he's got to make these free throws. Every possession, every bucket, every free throw. It's going to count here for the Flyers. Makes the second one. Chagwa now bringing the ball up the floor, looking for an isolation. He's going to slow this one down. If you are the Phoenix, you don't need to rush anything. The momentum is in your hands. Well, going to the screen, he gets Holden, pulls up from 15, can't get it. Big rebound. And the Flyers cut it down to single digits. Tough pass, finds Jacob. Huge 3 in the corner, it's up, and it's good. Now it's a 7-point ball game. Flyers not going anywhere anytime soon.
And that's who you want to catch momentum from the 3-point arc. He's a streaky shooter that can get hot quick. Can Bristol find him again in their next offense?
Aaron Wright now kicks out. Phoenix have a wide open look. This time they miss it. But can Bristol keep pushing? Just over 2.5 left here in the third quarter. Oh, good job. They're going to call a foul. You know, even though the foul's been called, I like the anticipation. I like the hunger. I love what the Phoenix give. They want everything on defense, even when they're in the penalty.
They do. They're so quick, and their ability, as we see Trajan Jacob there, hit the 3 from the corner, but Cheshire's ability to rotate, we've spoken about that, and anticipate where the ball's going. Do you need to gamble that one when it's Leslie Smith at the top at the 3-point line when you're up by 7? Especially in the bonus, I'm not sure about, but the heart and the hustle you have to applaud by Cheshire.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, composure goes to both these two teams at the moment. Sometimes you might even look and think it's a little bit reckless when you're in the penalty, but I don't think this Cheshire team either, they care about pressure or they even know when it's on them, because they just play with so much fire, you know?
They don't like to give up anything easy.
Only 4 missed free throws, 22 attempts tonight for the Phoenix. for the Flyers. Phoenix attempt 19, they've missed 5 of those 19. Both teams are in the penalty. Chagwa has made a few tonight. Trying to go off the backboard, can't get it, but the offensive rebound falling in the hands of Maceo Jack. Double team couple, Smith again overcommitting. Finds Maceo, 3 is up, and there you can see, there's the composure that we haven't spoke about from the Phoenix.
Yeah, and a quiet Maceo Jack. That's his first points of the game, but Leslie Smith cannot overjump the double team. He's taken himself out of it. It's 5-on-4 for a Cheshire team that move the ball in the perimeter and make threes.
Well, you're absolutely right, because it did cost them in the end. Now it could be a 6-point play, but they survived this one. I was thinking the exact same thing. You come in for the double team. It's almost like you've jumped out the court because you've exposed not only yourself, but you've exposed your help side defenders. Again, it's all about intelligence and composure at the moment.
The point of the double team is to...
Right, Zanzi, I think you heard me.
I had to pause on that to see that one go through the net, but the point of a double team is to stop the vision of the player and force the ball out their hand. They can't be able to see all the open players around the perimeter.
The foul is going to be called here. So free throws coming up, and Kapoulis arguing with Ed Udansky. He felt an illegal screen should have been called in that offense. But free throws will be coming up with Aaron Wright.
Yeah, we saw early on in this quarter a couple of moving screens being called, and Coach Kapoulis there thought that could have been another one. But instead, there's Aaron Wright back to the free throw line. He's been there a lot already today.
A chance to extend this back to a 7-point ball game. Cheshire at the moment want to run away with this, but every time they build a bit of momentum, Flyers just keep coming back and back. Well, unable to make the second one. He also has had a few inconsistencies here tonight. Still a 6-point lead. This is playoff basketball, Kyla. These two teams will do anything and everything to get the W here tonight.
Yeah, but if you can keep it close enough, anything can happen in this fourth quarter.
Big shot there, but again, it's Rafa Thomas Edwards. The follow-up, no good. Rafa made the effort, but you know, Allison's got to put that away.
Those are the ones you need to make.
Oh, good anticipation by Johnson. Now he's got to finish this. Johnson goes up. Well, foul called. I'm telling you, even though the foul is called, I want a replay of that on any social media site, because that is one hell of a block. Maceo Jack, even though he's called for a foul, I mean, he has pinned the basketball on the backboard like a magnet on the refrigerator. I mean, I can see from that angle why the foul's called, but it's what we talk about. They have no fear of anything whatsoever. They go after everything.
Didn't hesitate in sprinting back and trying to get that ball. And we talk about this is what makes Cheshire great, is their fight and their hustle, but this time Johnson was able to get the best of him, and a man that was on the free throw line 16 times in game one. This is number 6 for him today. He needs to get more involved with only 8 points in the game so far.
Cutting it down to a 2-possession ball game. Another unnecessary foul picked up by the Flyers. You know, go to, back to your playing days. In a game like this, you can always be frustrated by the calls, but isn't the case right now, Bristol, they just haven't adapted to how the refs are calling this game.
They haven't. It's really disrupted the way they've played, and they may have put too much attention on the external factors such as referee and calls, rather than just locking in and understanding what their scouting assignment is against Cheshire, which we've seen hasn't been great in times of the game, and allowing them to find their rhythm from the three-point line, putting Aaron Wright back on the free throw line. It's what you can control in these type of games is what's important when you know you need to win it to continue your season.
Well, 3 referees tonight, Ed Udansky, Rob Hickman, and Dave Griffin. I think they've done a fantastic job calling this one. What a game it's been so far. 6 seconds difference. Well, no, the shot clock has been turned off. Jacob trying to attack here. Loses control of it. Phoenix will get it back. One more attempt. Wright with the ball in his hands. Finds Chagwa. Hesitates. Hail Mary from downtown. Ethan Chagwa just said, guess what? I don't care who you are. I'll see you on the 19th of May at the O2 Arena. Now, has he been given a technical foul? We'll find out when we get back momentarily. Well, after making the big three-pointer from no man's land near the half-court line, not quite sure what was said beneath the Jaguar. Well, he looks quite in jovial mood at the moment. I think he may have just been given a technical foul, but... Oh, wait, come on, Kyla. That's tough.
That's a tough one. He's walking towards his bench. Emotions are heightened. This is what these guys have been playing all season for. And when you hit such a difficult shot like that, you want to talk about it. But to me, that shot is difficult, but it comes out of a rhythm he's been able to have from the three-point line all game. And once you find that, anything feels easy.
Well, of course, the big thing, the big talking point is going to be what was said in the wall. What a rejection by Brad Green. Good defense. I guess the ultimate thing is what was actually said for the technical. Now, quick three from the Flyers up, side of the backboard. Oh, here we go. Aaron Ryan now on the break. It goes up, throws it down with two hands. And at the moment, Phoenix starting the fourth quarter on a roll.
Bristol have plenty of time to get back into this game. They don't need to force tough, quick shots. They need to execute, as you see in this offense, and get high percentage looks.
Well, going inside the paint, Brad Green, that's much better. They need the green machine to come to life here in the fourth quarter. Give them something inside the paint. Ryan looking to attack. Jaguar's been on fire. This one's just off to the right, can't get it, but it falls into the hands of LaQuincy Rideau. It's the same story again. Phoenix finding the gaps inside the paint here against the Flyers.
Tough one. The possession before, you see Brad Green was able to stay home and got that big block, but as soon as he's extended out to the three-point line, it makes it difficult for Bristol defensively.
Going down low now to Brad Green. Cross court, turning it over. You got to think now emotionally, Flyers, if they don't pick themselves up here in the next 8:30, this season will be over. Levi Bradley's going to get called for the foul.
I think that's where Brad Green has to go one-on-one. There's no one really that can stop him when he backs him down and has a nice little hook over the top. And he's had some nice passes throughout the game, which has opened his space up to go one-on-one. Instead, he turned the ball over there.
Well, basketball fans, if you're loving the playoffs, we're going to give you a little bit more content related to the playoffs on our new platform here in the British Basketball League known as Double Double, brought to you by Derek and Stan.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Stan here.
Derek Eza here, aka The Israels.
And we are the hosts of a brand new playoff show live from the Virgin Media game pack called Double Double.
Yes, sir. Listen, we are live at 7 p.m. on Mondays. Be there. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, talking about the game, breaking down, you know, what's happening in the playoffs, just having a conversation.
We'd love to hear from you guys as well, so make sure you get us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Let's have a bit of fun while we get ready for the biggest basketball games of the year.
With that being said, be there or be square. Back to you guys.
Well, make sure you follow the Double Double live every Monday at 7 p.m. on the YouTube page of the British Basketball League, as well as on TikTok and Twitch. Follow all the playoff action brought to you by Derek and Stan. Well, two massive advocates for the British Basketball League game. They're at every event. They absolutely love the game. I would say that they are officially certified influencers for this league.
Oh, I agree, absolutely. And what a great chance to engage even more in conversations about the British Basketball League and the playoffs.
Well, finding Chagwa inside the paint, and he is becoming the ultimate Flyers punisher here in this game. 12-point ball game. Phoenix currently leading this one. Flyers must find a way.
It's just getting stuck again. It's too slow. As soon as they move the ball and execute their offense, they find good looks. When they get stuck, it's just really slow.
Also getting the offensive rebound. The swarm on defense. Bradley going down the middle. There's a kick out, but it's going to be an offensive foul. Suffocated defense. Also led by the IQ of this man, LaQuincy Rideau.
Puts his body on the line for his team. What won't he do to win this game? LaQuincy Rideau doesn't want a game 3. He's ready for the next round. They want to limit the amount of times they have to be on this floor to get the job done and to see if they can make a second final of the season.
He looks like a man who turned up with a broom maybe here to Bristol, because he probably had one thing on his mind, but game not over. Maso Jack, quick 3. Comes out of bounds. It's going to be possession to the Flyers.
I like that offense there, though. Maso Jack's been quiet, hasn't had many opportunities to shoot the ball, and that was a good look for him. I like Cheshire trying to find him because they will need him as the playoffs continue.
Every possession now has got to matter. Foul's going to be called on the ground. It's only going to be the first team foul against the Phoenix here in the fourth quarter. Bristol do have 2 fouls themselves. Timeout is going to be called here at the moment. These two teams will talk it over, but you know, Bristol, you made a very good point. They just seem to take a little bit too long to get into the half-court sets and not exactly being the most clinical in their transition play. Kyla, what do they need to do? 7:25 left. Your season's on the line.
They came back in game 1 from playing defense, forcing the role players in Cheshire to have to shoot, have to make decisions, and getting stops, getting rebounds in the first opportunity. Then they're able to run the floor. They play a lot of spread offense and movement and cutting and off-ball screens, and then they get into ball screens. If they can do that with momentum from getting live ball stops, it will help them because they create bigger advantages. And then offensively, what I talked about, if you don't have fast break opportunities from those stops, how do you then execute and get a high-level look? And lastly, regardless of what kind of look you're getting, you have to crash the offensive boards. That's what they do best as a team, and that's what will bring them back into this game. In the third quarter, they did that and caused Cheshire into foul trouble.
Of course, it has been a very exciting game. Phoenix doing a very good job. Well, Ben Thomas, no doubt, of course, will be able to try and look forward. I mean, well, first of all, 7:25, they do need to finish this game off. And, you know, that amount of time, anything could happen. But it's just been such a fantastic season for the Phoenix. You got to think, could this be a team that goes to the 0-2? Could they possibly win it? But Ollison now firing a 3. It's up. But it's not over yet. Back to single digits. Ollison making a big statement with that 3-pointer.
And that's how Bristol did it game 1. We're starting to hit a couple of threes to get themselves back into it. Now we have such high rates of three-point shooting. The deficit doesn't really matter if you've got time because of that three-point shot.
Oh, again, just went round the entire three-point line. Baseline, reverse layup. You got to think plays like that, the Flyers. You talk about defense in game one. There needs to be a little bit more pride at this point.
Yeah, but it's hard when Aaron White uses his body, uses the rim to protect himself.
A good closeout by Skylar White. That's going to run. Wow. Guess it's probably come off the foot of Rafa Thomas-Edwards or Tevin Olsen, but it will go back to the Phoenix.
I understand Bristol are worried about the Phoenix in transition, so some of them have to start to get back on a shot on their offensive end, but only one Flyer was inside the paint to try an offensive rebound. Your season's on the line. You have to go and crash hard.
Right down the middle. Twisted turn, it goes up. This guy simply is unstoppable.
But that's what Cheshire do. They hit some, they go inside, so then you have to help. And then they're able to hit threes from the space. And then again, they're able to go inside because you're worried about the three-point shooters, so you can't step off of them as much.
Jacob down the middle, nowhere to go. Here come the Phoenix. They have numbers. Bump, it goes in. Get in the and one, going to the free throw line. Oh, didn't get. No, I think it is a three-point play, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure Johnson really committed to taking that charge and therefore had still some movement. Yeah, a little step across in the middle to stop the lay, and that's a good call right there.
We just have to credit how quickly, we said this at the beginning of the game. We talk about what a great three-point shooting team they are. I got to tell you, because they are such a great three-point shooting team, they are such a quick team. They play very quick. They get the ball out in transition. But Kyla, they get the spacing right as well.
It's like a game of chess. It's about countering what the other team are doing, and it helps when you have players that can do it all, and you're the #1 in the league of made three-point shooting. So once you hit a couple, teams are so worried about that, the space inside opens up. When that opens up, they get worried about that, and then what do you do?
The Flyers, again, taking a bit too much time. Down to Rafa Thomas-Edwards. Spins baseline, goes up, no foul called. Good defense by the Phoenix. Aaron Wright goes in. Well, changes hands midair. Things getting a little bit tasty now. Aaron Wright didn't quite like that.
Yeah, these teams have seen each other a lot this season, and it's gone back and forth. A couple wins for both teams. Bristol had that one game where they did blow Cheshire out, and it's getting chippy here as we get into the back end of the fourth.
I think it was a coming together. I don't think there was really too much in it. I believe a technical probably has been called here. I think this one is going to be called against Aaron Wright. I think the overreaction, but you can understand he's taking a shot, but I don't think there was really... Well, Lucas had the ball. There's a coming together. And I am going to take Lucas' side on this, because I think you saw in the replay, I don't think he was trying to hit him. I think there's just, they come together. I don't think he's got anywhere to move out the way.
Yeah, no, it's just wrong place at the wrong time situation, but Bristol will be really happy with getting a couple points from, hopefully, from the free throw line. I think their issue, as we saw on that one, was shot selection. They're not taking the best looks, which are allowing Cheshire to get out, and Bristol aren't in position to play defense.
18-point ball game. It was single digits mostly here in the second half. Flyers have struggled offensively. Cheshire forcing Bristol anywhere they want in their offense. But there's a three-pointer, and that cuts it down to 15 with over 5 minutes here in the fourth.
Much needed three, and I think that little conversation with Aaron Wright got Lucas riled up.
Bit of contact goes in, and momentarily this guy responds. He's taking it over. He is becoming such a frustration for the Flyers defense. Aaron Wright is balling.
Fired up, and he's just been such a bully this game. So many different ways getting to the rim. He drives left, Leslie Smith cuts him off. Nice little spin and 2 steps to get by him.
Well, 30 points tonight for Aaron Wright. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Now making 31. Well, he's making a statement. He's talking on both ends. He's got words, but his game is speaking louder than his words.
He knows what he needs to do for Cheshire to be successful, not only now, but longer term in the playoff run. And 8 points will not cut it in game 1, although they got the 1 point win there. He knows these are the types of performances that Phoenix need to be successful.
Well, 4:57 to go. Cheshire Phoenix, they're in control. We'll take a short break, and as always, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, basketball fans. And again, if you want to know how to spell this man's name, you may find it's only 3 letters. Again, he has been terrific. 1 rebound away from a double-double. But I'm going to let the fans watching this game live on the British Basketball League YouTube, there is a vote. Let us know who your player of the game is. Put it in the live YouTube chat if you are, and let us know where you're watching currently in the world. This is the British Basketball League Playoff Game 2. Flyers, Josh Beck calling this game alongside Kyler Nelson. Kyler, it's only been one direction so far here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Cheshire have taken over this game. As you see here, they're just controlling pace and tempo. They look really comfortable in this 4th quarter, and they're just trying to make it 2 and done and then sweep the Flyers and on to the next for them.
Rye's been unstoppable so far. Twists and turns and puts up a prayer. Well, if that had gone in right there, that would have been something. But even so, he's going back to the free throw line. Kyler, I've asked this question time and time again. How do you defend Aaron Rye?
Clearly, no one has figured it out yet from the season he's had, but he's getting too deep in the paint before you then create contact. By then, he's so skilled and smart that he's able to use his footwork, his pivot steps, his Euro steps to read you and create that contact. Whereas if you're able to stop him earlier and force him around you and outside the paint, it gives you a chance for him to have to shoot more mid-range jump shots rather than get to the free throw line from layup fouls or getting the easy 2 points.
The free throw shooting may be a kryptonite factor here tonight for Aaron Rye, but take nothing away. He's been terrific. He does have the double-double at the end. As Leslie Smith just gets a lucky drop on the three-pointer. That cuts it down to 15 points with over 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
Leslie Smith will definitely take that one, and so will the Bristol Flyers. Can they use that as momentum and get some threes down in these last few minutes?
Skylar White now in around the gaps. May have took 1 too many steps there. I'm not quite sure the Oyster card. Not that you can use it up in Ellesmere Port, but I don't think it quite works down this part of the southwest of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, usually beyond the arc, so little happy feet inside that paint. But you like to see the change there. You like to see them trying to find him in different situations.
You can't be booking any air miles at the moment because the Phoenix, the way it's going, semifinals could very well be a reality as Rafa Thomas Edwards getting the layup to drop, and that cuts it down to 13.
I love those late cuts on drives. It's so hard to guard because as the help side, are you helping on the ball? Are you stepping up with the cutter? If you do, then the shooters on the other side are going to be open.
Rye patiently wearing down the shot clock. Finds Chagwa. Kicks out to get another wide open three. It's up. No good. Get another offensive rebound.
Does that count as his 10th offensive rebound? Is that a double-double for Aaron Rye, that tap out?
I think it might be 11. I think he did pick it up just as I last reached it, but right now in the lane, going up. Are you kidding me? This guy has no limits. Anywhere he's on the floor. Kyla, how does he do it?
As on his stop, he's always looking at the rim, making defenses jump before he's even left the floor. You have to stay down with Aaron Rye.
I mean, I agree with you. The Luka Doncic comparison with the Eurostep, but this is Larry Bird-esque in a Phoenix jersey. In and around, a little scoop wraparound finger roll. That's a tough, tough play.
And he gets pushed after it. But it's tough, and his footwork is impeccable. His reads, it's his decision-making. He understands angles. And if you do something as a defender, he knows the counter we've spoken about all game.
15-point ball game, 2:52 to go. The Phoenix fans watching this game live back in Ellesmere Port. They've already had one piece of silverware. That was the British Basketball League trophy this season when they defeated the London Lions. This club, this franchise, this coaching staff, these players, they're hungry. They are determined. One more accolade to win, something. I said they've never won it. They actually have when they were known as the Chester Jets, when they did the Jet Wash back in 2002. Father might have still been playing at that time, I think.
Must have been a long time ago then.
Your father was one hell of a player, I must say that. One of the greats of British basketball. Aaron Rye pulling up from 15, no good. Under 2.5 to go here in the fourth quarter.
I think you live with that if you're Bristol, though, from Aaron Rye, mid-range jump shot.
Well, Rafa Thomas Edwards, I got to pay this man a lot of homage. He's done everything. Every offense, he's followed in for offensive rebounds. And nobody can deny the effort he's given tonight here for the Flyers.
Oh, he's an absolute workhorse. It's amazing to have a player like that on your team that just wants to do all the gritty stuff and work every second he's on the floor.
LaQuincy Rigaud now going for the rock the cradle as a celebration. 16-point lead here to the Phoenix.
Yeah, we talk about this Phoenix team being those dogs, being super competitive, and it's shown with their record. They've been better away than they have at home. It just shows that mentality. They've won 12 away games this year.
Foul's going to be called against the Flyers. 2 free throws coming up for the Phoenix. Well, this man, once a fan, going back 22 years ago, he was probably sitting in Wembley Arena with the general manager, James Bryce, watching the former Chester Jets, a team that did exist before the Phoenix. Same club, of course, just different name. There he is, James Bryce. Watching the great John McCord, Calvin Davis, John Thomas lift the quadruple. Only a few teams have completed the quadruple here in the British Basketball League. Newcastle Eagles, they've done it a few times. Kingston Kings as well. And since now, the reason they're called the Cheshire Phoenix, I think I am correct on this. They came back into the league, I want to say in 2012-13. I think the name Phoenix was a rebrand because when the Jets had folded, there was a new team that emerged. We know with the Phoenix, it rises from the ashes. What a great historical basketball team, a lot of history, a lot of culture. And as that shirt says, they're proven to be unbeatable.
Yeah, and you have to understand that there's a lot of history in this league. So it's really cool to see where we're at here in this kind of new generation of basketball and how things have developed in British basketball.
Oh, talking about history, of course, your family's name as well. Some of the greats, your brother, we know what a great player is in London Lions, but of course your father, one hell of a player, played for the former Brighton Bears when they were known as Worthing Bears. Also played for my father briefly in the British Basketball League. Just shows you what a great history it has. As I think a technical foul has been called against Andreas Kapoulis. It's just frustration moments here now for the Flyers. And that is he's out of here. Andreas Kapoulis has been ejected, and it takes a lot to really, I mean, we know he is a very passionate, fiery coach, but it gets a lot for him to get ejected.
It does, and it's a shame, potentially at this point, being the last game of the season, not being out there with his players who he's been with every game this season to finish out. But he trusts his assistants that are there day in, day out, that the players know to finish this game the right way, to come out of the season with a positive look.
Of course, you have to remember the Flyers have gone through so many injuries this season. It's a great, talented group of individuals. And, you know, at times they played some good basketball collectively. But the ultimate thing we're going to be talking about at the end of this game. The Phoenix, they're just better.
Yeah, and Bristol, like you said, have had some really great moments, both domestically and in the European League. But when it comes to playoffs, it's about playing your best basketball at the right time, and I don't think Bristol have done that. We've seen sparks throughout the season of them showing their potential and what they could be. It just hasn't all come together when they need it in a win-or-stay-home game.
Flyers looking to get this one in bounds. Nowhere to go at the moment. Finds Smith under the paint, goes in. He'll finish this one, but you gotta think at this point it's all a consolation here for the Bristol Flyers.
Bristol just weren't able to get enough stops. Their wins against Cheshire this year, they held Cheshire under 75 points both times. And when you're a team that averages just over 80 points a game, it's going to be hard to win.
The jump ball's going to be called a reach-in by Tevin Ollison. I think that is the right call because it did look like he had all ball. And let's have a look at the replay. Oh, it's an excellent call. That's a terrific call.
They called the offensive foul.
It's going to be possession out of the Flyers. Hand in the passing lane. I love that. That says 1,000 words. LaQuincy Rideau trying to calm down Ben Thomas. That's brilliant. Listen, I love LaQuincy Rideau. I love his fire. I love the fact he's fearless. But you got to know what a team this is when your most fired up player is telling you to calm down. I love it.
What a dynamic. And with a minute to go, up 17, and you're still this fired up.
Well, going in avoids the block, but also avoids the bucket. It's going to be a kickball violation, so possession will go back to the Flyers. 57.1 seconds left here for the Phoenix, as they'll be heading on to the semifinals. Remember, second highest seed here in the British Basketball League. And they'll find out momentarily that they'll be playing the second lowest seeded team in the semifinals. Those London Lions defeating Surrey Scorchers earlier today, sweeping that series.
But what a year for the Scorchers, making the playoffs again. And they really pushed London today, I thought, especially early on. Just shows that they can compete with any team.
Well, the Newcastle Eagles as well, 38.8 seconds left in their game. They're going to be on their way to a sweep. What a turnaround it's been for them here towards the end of the regular season. And they will be heading to the semifinals. It's all over for the Caledonia Gladiators. Another foul here. It's all about that Euro step, getting the defender off the air. This guy is simply a quadratic formula to try and defend. A mathematical equation that nobody can seem to figure out.
It's a timing issue as well. He makes you second guess yourself, because he may go off of 1 foot really quickly, or he might do 2 really long and slow steps with his eyes at the rim. So constantly you don't know when he's going to shoot the ball. And you can't jump before he does. And we've seen Bristol do that the entire game. Is Aaron Rice stays on the floor whilst the defender jumps, and then he uses you to create contact. You have to stay down against him.
I mean, trying to figure out how to defend Aaron Wright here in the British Basketball League is like trying to get a first mark in AP Calculus in the USA High School. I mean, it's impossible, but...
Yeah, the amount of free throws we've seen from him individually, but from both teams. Bristol shot 28 free throws, Cheshire 33. Aaron Wise 12 for 17 on the night.
Well, Cheshire fans, it's all about making history this season. Thomas Edwards comes up with a steal. Bristol now. Foul has been committed by Aaron Wright.
Cheshire not giving anything easy up at the end of this game, but I like that because it then creates a momentum into the next game. The way you finish this is really how you may start the next one, and you want to be continuously having a standard and holding yourselves to it, and I think Cheshire do that really well.
Of course, you always love to see that visiting fans of every venue. Some of those fans, like I said, they've been around when it was the Cheshire Jets in the mid-90s, the early 2000s when they were very successful. And now, of course, here with the Cheshire Phoenix.
And that's what's probably helped Cheshire on their away wins, is their traveling fans.
Well, basketball fans, we thank you for joining us. Cheshire Phoenix, they get the brooms out. They're going to sweep this one as they will head on to the semifinals, and they will await to see who they'll play in the next round. Will it be the Leicester Riders? Of course, will it be the Sheffield Sharks? Job done tonight. It was close in game one, Kyla. But you know what? As easy as it was tonight, I don't think this is a hard question for you. Who was your player of the game?
Have to give a shout out to Ethan Chagwa, who game one started, game two came off the bench and did a great job from the three-point line, especially 50% for him, 5 of 10, but 27 points for Chagwa. But man of the match, are we watching football? Player of the game is this man right here, Aaron Rye. 34 points, 12 rebound, double-double, 3 assists. He did that on 64% shooting, got to the free throw line 17 times, and he just played bully ball. You see, everything was inside for him tonight. He wasn't okay with the 1-point win at home in Cheshire and 8 points. He had to make a mark in this game, and he did it with style. It's all a read. He gets past the defender, uses the rim to protect from the shot blocker, goes off with his left hand off the ball screen, gets cut off and just spins. And the help side are just not there quick enough.
Now, of course, they have to wait to find out who they're going to play. And that's still going to be a tough matchup. Because either Sheffield Sharks are going to take it to a game 3, or they'll find out tomorrow night definitively that they'll be playing the Leicester Riders. Who do you think, in your mind, would be a better matchup for the Phoenix? Leicester or Sheffield?
If I'm knowing kind of what the Phoenix are like, I don't think they care. It's just about whoever they've got, they're ready to compete and play. I think Leicester will get a little chippier. It's a tough one. Sheffield are now starting to come back towards the end of the season. You see, especially at home, Sheffield were great all season long. I'm saying Sheffield's probably a better matchup for them. But going back to Aaron Rye real quick, he drew 11 fouls that game.
Well, no, you talk about such an interesting statistic, drawing 11 fouls. He did have a double-double. But we're going to have to break this game down now from the statistics. You look at this game especially. His team, they just didn't do enough. Too many costly turnovers. They didn't quite get enough offensive rebounds in the end that would have solidified them a victory. But also offensively, they didn't create enough high-percentage looks from the field. Granted, they've had a lot of injuries, but statistically in this game, it definitely went in favor of the Cheshire Phoenix.
I just believe they went away from things that were working for them in the game. When they executed their sets, they got good looks. When they forced Phoenix into one-on-one basketball and dribbling a lot, they got stops. But it just wasn't consistent enough for the 40 minutes. When it's the playoff times, it's such small margins.
Well, there you can see the free throw count. 10 missed free throws by the Cheshire Phoenix. But, you know, looking at this, Kyla, is there any stat in particular that you really think defines why the Phoenix dominated this game?
3-point percentage is definitely one of them. As you can see, Cheshire able to hit 10 threes in the game. Bristol only 7, and they got off to a really slow start in that first half from the 3. And again, the efficiency from the 2. Bristol way under 50% inside the 3-point line, whereas Cheshire 50%, and it comes from the likes of Aaron Rye, who's Mr. Efficient, #1 in field goal percentage in this league. And they've just got some players that understand how to play together and get it done when it matters.
Of course, fast break points. 21 transition points for the Cheshire Phoenix, only 10 for the Flyers. Kylie, you said this time and time again in the game, Bristol take too long to get in their offense.
They do, and the fast break are either coming from turnovers or bad shot selection from Bristol, which means they're not set up properly in their transition defense. We saw a lot of run-outs by Cheshire tonight and easy layups in the fast break with a team that we know. That's their bread and butter, is fast break and 3-point shots, and I just don't think they executed their scout the way they wanted to.
Here are the results from today, Kyla. 3 series, all have been wrapped up by 3 sweeps. London Lions, they went to Surrey Sports Park, they got the job done. Newcastle Eagles took it back to the tune, they got the job done, but the Phoenix came on the road. 3 series all wrapped up, and of course you're going to see the Lions will be taking on the Eagles, while of course the Phoenix will be waiting to find out if they'll be playing the Riders or if Sheffield will take this back. That game's going to be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. on Sky Sports, but you know what an exciting, it's been so far in the playoffs. I don't remember such a more exciting anticipation to a final than this season.
I think it's been the build-up of the regular season. It's just been incredible to see teams from 1 to 10 be able to get wins. We saw Manchester at the end of the season get a couple of good wins for them, and it's been so competitive throughout the league. And it's just built into this, and we've seen sweeps because these teams have found a way to peak at the right time. But as we reduce teams and get longer and further into the playoffs, the harder it's going to get.
Well, again, the quarterfinals are not over yet. Tomorrow, the game is going to be live on Sky Sports between the Sheffield Sharks and the Leicester Riders. And as every great British Basketball League fan likes to hear, 2 words, Game 3. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside the great Kyla Nelson. For now, it's goodbye, good night, and we'll see you soon.